shop, everybody. Excuse my voice. It is cedar season in Texas, and it is the worst thing that happens to me every year. So I will be a little hoarse and probably not quite as vocal as I normally am. This is a piece of walnut. It's approximately 6x3. I got this at SWAT, the Southwestern Association of Turners symposium that we had this last August, and it's got some very pretty grain in it. It's a good color in it, and this is more like real walnut that I'm used to seeing, not like the platter I turned a while back. But we're gonna turn this thing round and try to find a shape that works for it. Get going. Let me get geared up and we'll get started. It sanded up to 400 and burnished or polished with the Scotch-Brite pads from 0 to double 4/0. I have to go back. I can't get this. There's a couple spots right here that even with, I started at 180 because it was pretty smooth, but there's a couple spots right there that just don't know where we're at. What we're going to do is we're going to try some Axe abrasive paste on it. If that doesn't correct it, then I will go back and start sanding from scratch, and maybe I'll probably still start at 180 if I have to go back. Just right through here. It's the only place I see anything. Other than that, it's a pretty piece of wood. I was right about the color variation in it and some chatoyance in there. So let's put some buffing paste on there, see what happens. Maybe it'll all get better. Good, those lines are gone. And we'll finish it off with Howard feed wax. Everybody knows that. As always, usually just one coat. Let it sit for 20 minutes, buff it in, and I can turn this piece around and bring you back when we're getting ready to do the inside. Okay, I have it turned around, but I'm gonna change my plans. This was just gonna be like a little dish with a little small pedestal on it, but I'm thinking I might put a lid on it. I dug through all of my pieces of wood, and I've got a couple of pieces I think might work. I'm not sure which one I like the best. Here is one option, and it's got a little more yellow to it. Don't know what it is. It's a pretty wood. It's very hard. This is a very heavy piece for what it is, but I'm thinking this might make a decent lid. And then I've got one other option, and this is, I should know the name of this because I've turned 4 or 5 pieces of it, but I don't. I have this wood, and it has the most beautiful chatoyance. I've turned 3 or 4 pieces of it. This is not finished at all, and it's just all the chatoyance coming out of this thing is amazing, and that's with all the pieces. And this may be another candidate. This one has more red in it, and I'm not sure if I like that better with this or whatever. And then I have a piece of African blackwood. Actually, I have 4 or 5 pieces of African blackwood. I got it. Another thing I got at the swap meeting this last symposium this last year, they were going home and didn't want to take it with them. So I bought 5 or 6 pieces of it for like $1 a piece. So pretty good deal. But that'll be the finial for sure. And then what I'll probably do, so I'll probably film it, is I know what this looks like finished, and I will find a piece of it that I've got laying around somewhere. I just don't know where it's located at right now. It's probably in another bin. I've got several bins full of my stuff. But I will probably, once I get this hollowed out, I will put this on the lathe, turn it, just to get it round and just to get to see what the color actually will be like. Maybe sand part of it just enough to see what it looks like and see if I think I like that. I kind of like this a little better because it won't take away from the walnut, but we'll have to wait and see. First, hollow this out, then we'll move on. So let me get my mask and face shield on and we'll get started. As usual, sanded to 400 and buffed with the Scotch-Brite pads. And now we're going to put some Axe on there, and then we'll finish off with Howard Feed and Wax. Sanding went pretty smoothly. I don't like doing the insides. Outside's always pretty easy to do. The insides, especially, they've got this complex curve here and then dips back in again because it follows the contours. It went pretty smoothly though. Next, I'll work on this lid that I've got. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have to put it on a glue block. It's kind of thin. And on center, I don't really want to do because I want to put a mortise on it. And so I'm going to put it on the glue block. And I will probably turn the inside just so I can get an idea. I'm going to turn it round and start turning it just enough to face it to see what the color looks like when it's cleaned up and see if I like it. If I do, I will continue, make a lid out of it. If I don't like the way it looks, I'll probably pull it off, wait till another day to finish that and just make a platter out of it. And then I will either use the other piece of wood I've got, which I can show you real quick. Well, as soon as I get this buffed out. I found one of my finished pieces of it, and it's more orange than I like. I've got it sitting right here. While this is spinning, I'll show you. This is more orange. I don't think they contrast that badly, or I don't think they contrast a lot, but I just don't know if those tones are the same. But look at the chatoyance in this thing. So, if nothing else, I have that piece. I can use it. But I'm almost afraid that will, with the chatoyance that this wood has, I'm almost afraid that'll kind of overtake the walnut grain that we've got going on here. I don't want to do that either. So, things to ponder. Howard Feed and Wax. Okay, I'll bring you back when I get ready to turn that lid. So that's kind of a first. First you sharpen bowl gouge, and it took that about 4 passes, and it was dull, and it's duller than I'd ever had it. So just sharpened up. We're going to give it another try. Here we go. So I took 2 passes with my 5/8 Thompson, and it dulled it dead. So I put normally on my round carbide, I try to only use it for the inside of the bowl, and I have a negative rake on here. So I just took the negative rake off and put a standard on here so I can get this down to the right, close to the right size. And then I'll probably do some more work with that, and then we'll keep going. Sorry I started without you. Sand it up to 400. It's like everything else. 3M pads, and I took a brush and put them in these grooves here so that it was already in here for the Axe abrasive paste. And now we're going to put some on the rest of it, and it's going to darken it up a little more than I thought it was going to, but still not bad, I think. I think we'll be okay. And then once I get this again, we'll do the Howard feed and wax. And I can turn this around and finish the top of it, and then we'll only have to worry about the finial. Not sure how much of my talking is going to make it in there because it's not good, and I think I'm going to have to trim this one down pretty good, making 3 pieces in one. Well, this went south in a hurry. You saw the color change on this thing, and it darkened up. I don't know. I'm going to put some, I'm going to try like Howard on here, but I know it's going to do the same thing as the Axe abrasive paste did. I don't know what I can do to get this back to more of a blonde color. It may not be anything I can do at all. It may be that's just what it's going to do when I do it, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure I like this at all. So I will seek the opinion of my wife, who's got more color sense than I do. But I think she's going to agree with me because this is exactly what the other piece of wood was going to look like tone-wise. And that's exactly what I was wanting to stay away from. So fits perfect, but I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to go ahead and finish this because this is what it is now. I guess I could. You know what? If I don't like the color, I think I'll just take this mortise out. I'll just shave this down, resand it, and leave this little dimple in here, and this will be just like a little dish for something. And it'll be a beautiful little dish. And then I'll have to try and find a piece of wood to go with this. I've got some friends. I got a friend who's got some white oak, and that would be a lot different color. Might be too contrasting, but I'll see what we can do. I'll let you know. Talk to you later. The wife says she thinks it'll work. I kind of agree. It's not something I would have probably picked as a combo, but it doesn't clash. So we're going to go with that. Also, I'm trying out a new microphone I just got. That's remote, connects to my camera. And we're going to see if that helps with my sound quality. Of course, my voice is still bad, so that's not going to help. I'm still going to be raspy. But hopefully, at least it will be loud enough that everybody can hear what I'm saying. And we're going to give this a run and see if it works out for us. As usual, Axe abrasive paste. And on the inside of this, I did not want to use Howard feed and wax, so I used the polishing paste, which is what I'll use after I try to get this buffed up. And then we'll use the polishing paste on it. And then we will take this off. I'll mount a piece of African blackwood and turn a finial, or probably more like a knob. Might be a small finial because I'm not geared towards that. Not that it's a bad thing. I love the look of finials. I just don't know if I can pull one off, but we may give it a try. We'll see what we can do. Well, as for me, I'm still not positive about this top color, and I apologize. There's no video of the finial, but I did. This was my third attempt. The first one I got done, almost all the way done. Let me pick it up here. Perfect little finial. Got it almost all the way done. Did something stupid and threw it off the lathe. Broke that. This one I had almost done, as you don't see because I didn't keep the footage. And then I made another mistake and whacked the top of it off. So then I had to redesign it because I was going to get another piece of this wood out. This wood may not have cost me a lot, but it's not cheap. So I don't want to just keep throwing good wood away just to try to make a finial. I guess I'm going to have to start working on that. If anyone knows a good, inexpensive wood to try and make finials out of, so I can do some practice work, because it is a much finer technique than, digging out a bowl. I do have a disorder called dysgraphia, and so my fine motor skills are not like a lot of people's. So it could be that this is just always going to be difficult for me. I was able to concentrate well enough to get this off the lathe, though. It is the same African walnut. The African blackwood. Here's the inside of the bowl, or the inside of the lid. Bowl's finished out. Bowl's been finished, as you know, for a long time, out of walnut. Still don't know what this wood is. I will ask our wood expert at the club that I'm a member of, and they will be able to tell me, you know what, I think this warped in the interim. I believe this wood warped because it fit, wasn't snug when I fit, it was loose. Yep. So I think either the bowl or the lid warped a little bit. I may have to do some fine sanding. I can put the lid back on the lathe, and I can fine sand this edge a little bit so that it makes it easy to get off again, but I'll let the glue on this completely dry. I don't have it completely dry yet. So, well, this is going to be long. I'm going to try and edit most of it down a little bit, but it's probably going to be over 30 minutes. So at this point, I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you liking and subscribing if you want. And if you like to leave a comment, I'd appreciate that too. Till next time, we'll see you later.